In this week's episode, we take a look at yet another Pokémon title getting released in 2022. Gabe Newell gets a job as a delivery driver, and we have an update on the upcoming Wonderboy Collection. This is episode 51 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the podcast for everything retro and retro-inspired. I'm Barry, and unfortunately, Anthony isn't able to make it this week. So I've gone and had a look in the back, and I've blew off the dust and got our old co-host back. Welcome, Phil.
Hello. Hey, it's been a while.
It has been 6 months.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It certainly has. And you haven't aged a day.
No, it's 6 months.
Yeah, but I'm still right, haven't I?
It's not been a day, you're right there.
A day.
You're not wrong.
Well, those 6 months haven't been kind to you.
Harsh.
I don't think they've been kind to many people, to be honest.
Very true.
It's fortuitous that we've actually dusted you off and brought you back out for this episode.
It's almost like it was meant to happen.
Because the first thing we were going to talk about was Elden Ring launching. And since me nor Anthony have played it, and I have absolutely zero interest in any Souls-type game, then we thought we'd bring in the expert. But since they were unavailable, we just have to settle with you.
That's fair. I'll take it. No, I have been playing Elden Ring, and I have been thoroughly enjoying it. And I kid you not, they could literally slap Dark Souls 4 on the title, and it wouldn't be wrong.
In all fairness, hasn't that what they've been doing pretty much the entire series? Because surely you could have called Dark Souls Demon Souls 2, and no one would have batted an eyelid.
Yeah, well, Demon Souls and Dark Souls was purely licensing, because Demon Souls was licensed to Sony and published by Sony. They have the license for it.
I'm assuming that's similar to what happened with Bloodborne then.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen another one of them either.
Yeah, Bloodborne's, again, it's published and technically owned by Sony, I think. The one thing I will say about this, though, they made a very, very big thing about George R.R. Martin, author of Game of Thrones, being part of the story lead and heavily involved in the story. It feels like a Dark Souls game with a Dark Souls story. Doesn't feel like a George R.R. Martin story.
Are they kind of pushing that collaboration with him?
Yeah, dude, for all the marketing.
No, I mean now.
Not really, no.
I was just wondering, is that by any chance when they initially announced it, was that like in one of the earliest seasons of Game of Thrones before people started not talking about it kindly online?
Yeah, it's basically the we don't talk about Bruno about books, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just wondering if maybe they're trying to try and distance themselves a little bit from him.
No, I don't know. Saying that, Game of Thrones TV series finished a few years back now.
Yeah, I think it must have been a couple of years at least.
More than that, I think it's about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Again, another property I have no interest in whatsoever.
I enjoyed it. We're still waiting for the books. You know, it would have been nice if rather than writing this video game that it doesn't feel like he's written, he would have finished his freaking books.
He's been too busy writing the new Dark Souls game.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing. He's not been cashing those sweet TV checks from royalties and sat enjoying his later years, which I don't blame him.
I was going to say, if I was in his position, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't not do that. I've even confused myself with that sentence, so I don't know which way that works out. Well,
it sounds about right.
Well, from listening to you chatting while you've been playing it, it seems like it's got maybe a slight ramp in difficulty.
You could say that. It's definitely the hardest of the Souls games I have played. And as you can attest, I'm sure I have played a lot of the Souls games.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first boss was ruining my day well and truly, constantly. But no, it is. There's plenty of little Easter eggs and bits they've put in. But it is a proper open world. An open world Dark Souls. I mean, just what's not to love?
Well, maybe the Dark Souls part.
It depends. Yeah,
or at least the crushing difficulty and depressing atmosphere. I'm assuming it's got a similar sort of atmosphere as Dark Souls.
Yeah. The atmosphere is absolutely there. One thing I will say they've absolutely nailed is the mounted combat.
I didn't even know there was mounted combat.
Yeah, right near the beginning, you get a horse that you can summon. And unlike games like Skyrim, where if you're on the back of a horse, you can swing your weapon around in bits, but it feels really clunky. On Elden Ring, the mounted combat actually feels really nice. Like, there's a boss right at the very beginning, which if anyone's played it will know exactly what I'm talking about, because you finish the tutorial area, you step into the game, and it's like when you first come across the Asylum Demon, and you've got your broken sword, and you don't realise that you've got an exit to go through, and you try and fight that Asylum Demon with your broken sword, and you almost rage quit the game because it's stupid. It's like that.
But didn't that game at least give you the benefit of you started above it so you could get one good hit on it at the start?
That's only if you remember the gate was there and went through the gate and went round, got your weapon, and then dropped on it to get your decent start. Right. You step out, and it's a very hard boss that can absolutely one-shot you. It's mounted on horseback, so it's very quick. Just ruined your day. I came back to it a little bit later with my mount. It still ruined my day plenty, but I managed to successfully use the mount to actually fight it properly. It's difficult to explain without actually playing it, but the combat work. You'd expect that from a Dark Souls game, though. The combat is always the key focus in a Dark Souls game.
Yeah, that and flat rolling.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it mustn't just be yourself that likes it, because this has actually had the best opening weekend of any of the Souls games released so far. And at least here in the UK, it hit number 1. Would you say this was one of the marquee titles being released? Would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't seen an awful lot of excitement around this, but it's managed to knock Pokémon Legends Arceus and Horizon Forbidden West off of the top slot.
I'm surprised that it's knocked Pokemon off the top spot, because at the end of the day, it's Pokemon. Though I hear it's not the best entry in the Pokemon series.
I've picked it up. I've been playing it. I'm probably, I reckon, about a third of the way through the game. It's got a lot of good ideas, but personally, I feel like it's implemented them relatively poorly.
Yeah.
Anthony swears by it. He thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I don't know. I think ever since the original release of Pokemon Gold and Silver, I've never really been into Pokemon as much as I was with those first 2 generations. I'm definitely a Gen 1. I'm definitely a Gen 1 in a heart.
I'm with you on that. But you've got to feel for Horizon Forbidden West. 3 open world action adventure games coming out at the same time, and they've got to compete with both Dark Souls, well, not Dark Souls, but Elden Ring, and Pokemon at the same time.
Yeah. Well,
it was never going to happen, was it?
I suppose they got the benefit that people who are getting Pokemon probably aren't getting Forbidden West. You know, different consoles, but I don't know. In all fairness, if you're in the top 3, which all 3 of these games are in the top 3 of the UK sales charts, you're in good company, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, regardless of which one. And from what I can tell, all of them are getting really positive reviews. Even though, personally, I'm not saying Pokemon's a bad game, it's just, I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a Pokemon title.
It feels like a game that could have come out on the PlayStation 2 GameCube sort of era.
Well, graphics-wise? Not
only graphics-wise, but presentation in general.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, NPCs do not move.
Really?
Yeah, they've got like an idle animation, like they'll brush up a bit of dirt or something, but they won't walk around, so it doesn't feel very lived in. They're all very static.
Yeah, right, fair enough.
But I think that's a gripe for another time, to be honest.
Speaking of that, though, I've seen quite a few screenshots of Horizon Forbidden West, and it's very impressive graphically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But then again, if you compare it to Pokemon, it's a bit of an unfair comparison.
It is an unfair comparison, but
the PlayStation 4 was significantly more powerful than the Switch is, so let alone seeing this game running on a PS5. I don't know if you actually listened to the podcast last week, but have you heard about the uproar behind Sony's underhanded tactics for selling this game?
I've not, no.
Right, so they announced that anyone who got the PlayStation 4 version got a free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version. Do you know if you got a digital copy?
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't want to badmouth them too much, but if you're an Xbox owner, you're like, yeah, and that's absolutely normal.
Yeah.
Well, not in PlayStation world. So initially they said you get a free upgrade.
Right.
Then they put that behind a paywall. So they said, well, you do, but you need to get like the deluxe version of the game to get the upgrade.
Didn't this happen with another game as well?
Possibly.
I recall this happening with another game. I'm sure they've done this a couple of times now.
Probably. But then anyway, people were saying, no, you didn't say that's what was happening. You know, this bit unfair. So they've walked back and gone, okay, we're not going to charge you the $10 upgrade fee, which we will do for future games like Gran Turismo, for example.
They upped the price of the PS4 version, didn't they?
No. PS4 version, $60 like other PS4 games. But if you buy it on the PlayStation 5, it's $70. But if you buy it on the PS5, they give you the PS5 version, but they also give you a downgrade to the PlayStation 4 version as well. So you unlock both versions.
I don't understand Sony.
So you buy it on the app, the website, or the PlayStation 4, and buy the PS4 version, you pay $60. You get the exact same items, but buy it through the PlayStation 5, you pay $70. And initially, they also hid the PlayStation 4 version from the PS5 store through the console. So even if you ticked show me PS4 titles, it would not show you the PS4 version of Forbidden West. It would only show you the $70 PS5 version.
Yeah, that's a bit... Yeah.
And unfortunately, a significant amount of copies sold were the PlayStation 5 version.
I can believe it.
Because obviously... You don't think, oh, do you know what? I'll go on my Xbox Series X and see how much the game is, but then I'll go back to my Xbox One and double check how much it is. You don't think to compare them. So most gamers will just go, that's the price, I'll pay it.
I'll be honest, I've not really bought a lot of games since Game Pass became a thing.
Well, you bought Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing I've bought in a couple of years. Mainly because every time I buy a game, it appears
it goes on Game Pass, yeah. Yeah.
Even Deedlit in Wonderland. I got that on Steam. Admittedly, it was a few months later, and I'd completed it by then, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But even that appeared on Game Pass, and I wasn't even expecting that.
Sony are allegedly getting their own version of Game Pass coming soon, but it doesn't sound like it's going to include first-party games on day one.
I thought they already had that in PlayStation Now.
Something called Project Spartan, I think it was, or Spartacus.
Project Spartan sounds like Halo.
I might be getting that mixed up, actually, because Project Spartan was also the code name for the Microsoft Edge browser.
It was, wasn't it?
Might be getting that mixed up. I think it was something like Project Spartacus, sorry.
Well, we're speaking about Sony and PlayStations.
Yeah.
They're doing a redesign, aren't they, for the VR?
Well, yeah, it's not a redesign. It's a brand new headset for the PlayStation 5.
Oh, right, okay.
So they have the PSVR, which is the PlayStation 4 VR headset, and you can use it on the PS5 with, obviously, the PlayStation 4 titles. But this new headset, they announced it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, but they've actually shown what the headset looks like, and I must admit, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it does look quite nice. It's very sleek.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I can see in the background your Dell Mixed Reality headset, and it actually reminds me a lot of that, with the way the headband is like a halo that goes around your head.
No, I can agree with that. Yeah, it does look very similar. The controls obviously look different.
Yeah.
Because they remind me more of like the Oculus style controls.
Yeah, they look a bit odd from what I can tell. If you were holding them, you actually don't hold it and the light ring is around the top. You actually hold them and the light ring would go around maybe the back of your hand and your palm, maybe your wrist.
Maybe.
So it looks... I'd be curious to see how playing something like Beat Saber, where you do a lot of wrist motions, whether or not it would collide with, like, maybe if you're wearing a watch or the actual arm or wrist.
Maybe. It's one of those to see when it's actually released. I will say, though, I think Oculus Quest has it right. I think wireless, totally cableless VR gaming is where it's at.
Oh, definitely. My Oculus Quest, even though it's the first generation one, it takes like a massive hit on any sort of graphics when you're playing like Beat Saber or Robo Recall. I think I would take that massive hit just for the freedom of it.
Absolutely. If I want to go on my VR headset, what I need to do is lug my PC downstairs, hook it up to the TV, make sure there's enough room actually in the living room, because obviously where the PCs are in the office, there just isn't enough room for VR gaming.
Yeah.
So I don't get to use it as much, just because I can't be bothered unplugging everything, lugging it all downstairs, plugging it all up, setting it all up, just to play for an hour or two.
Yeah, at least with mine, I just go downstairs, just dump all Elliot's toys in the corner of the room, chuck on the headset, play it for a couple of hours, take it back up, and that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. If we had the Oculus Quest, we'd be able to do the same.
Unfortunately, the PlayStation VR headset, the new one, isn't wireless.
No.
However, I don't know if you ever saw the way the original one connected, where it has like a breakout box and it looks like a little mini PlayStation 4 that you have next to your PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it, yeah.
Yeah, and then like a mess of wires. Well, this is just a single USB-C cable now. So it's just one cable, plug it in, that's it. You're up and ready to go.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, and you don't need a PlayStation Eye webcam or whatever they're called.
So have we got much in the way of specs for this thing yet?
Yeah, there's loads of specs. And to be honest, it's a bit of a beast of a headset.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I think the big thing is the screens are 4K OLEDs.
Oh, that'll be nice.
4K OLEDs, like literally millimeters away from your retinas.
Yeah, that's going to look nice, isn't it?
They can run at either 90 or 120 hertz.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people who are quite sensitive to that will be thankful. Thankfully, I'm not. So I think mine runs at like 75 hertz. I have no issues. But nice smooth motion. Obviously, it'll depend on the game. And it has eye tracking. And in conjunction with that, something called foveated rendering. Where what it'll do...
These technical terms.
Where you look, it will have the full resolution of the picture, but as it gets away from that point, the resolution dynamically decreases. So it's not using massive amounts of GPU power to actually render things that you can't really see because it's in your peripheral vision.
That's not a bad idea.
And that way, hopefully, keep frame rates up, keep them high, stop people from vomiting everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I have Gone, and I can't play it because every time I try and sit down and play it, it just... I don't know if it's the frame rates or what, or the way you move on it. It just, every time.
Go on. I did have that for a little while. I'm trying to think. Do you move using the analog stick?
You kind of do. You kind of have to drag yourself forward. It's a bit weird in the way you move on it.
Because I know there's quite a few games where if I move using the analog stick within a minute or two, I start feeling quite nauseous. Oddly enough, I tried to play Minecraft in VR. Thought, this is going to be great. Yeah, a minute or two into it, I was like, no, can't do that. I'll just go back to the part where you sat on a couch and there's like a TV playing Minecraft instead. But no, absolute beast of a headset, this. No idea how much it's going to cost. And you can guarantee wherever the retail price is, the scalpers are going to get in there and double it.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah. Or you might find yourself in a weird situation where you can get a hold of a PlayStation VR2 headset, but not a PlayStation 5 to connect it up to. Just really quickly, before we move on to the next couple of bits of news, we'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's listening, whether you tune in regularly or are new to the podcast. As usual, we ask that if you are enjoying this podcast, that you leave us a review on your favourite podcasting app. This week, we'd like to say a massive thank you to Short Gizmo, our one and only Patreon, still. And if you would like a shout out in the next episode, you can do so by visiting our Patreon and pledging as little as £1 per month. Here, you'll be able to listen to alternative edits of our podcast and listen to them all completely ad-free. Now, should we talk about the new Pokemon game that's coming out?
Yeah, I've got to admit, I have not been following Pokemon in the slightest. So this is news to me.
Well, it only got announced recently. They done a Pokemon Direct earlier in the week. And I don't think them announcing a new Pokemon game, like mainline Pokemon game, was much of a surprise.
Yeah.
I think the surprise was it's coming at the end of this year. Now,
right.
It was only just before Christmas that we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And in January, I think it was, we got Pokemon Arceus.
Bloody hell, they're giving Call of Duty a run for the money?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I had actually mentioned to Anthony in the past is I thought maybe they'd stop doing the dual releases.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Nintendo realised that they can get more money out of it that way.
Well, the thing is, if you slap Pokemon on something, people will buy it, and it will do well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think 3 mainline Pokemon games within 12-month periods maybe a bit too much, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
This is where we don't see another one now for like a decade.
Well, how long was it between Sword and Shield, Pokemon Go, and Arceus?
Well, Pokemon Go or Let's
Sorry, Let's Go. Let's go, even, not Pokemon
Pikachu
Go.
in.
Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
I want to say like maybe a year or two at most.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot between them.
Yeah, but there weren't 3 of them within 12 months.
No. There wasn't 3 of them, and then you had a bit of a wait between that and Arceus.
Yeah. Brand new Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. I'm fairly certain they could have picked better names than that, to be honest. But it's nice seeing them going back to the colours.
I was going to say that's red and purple. That's how far away is that from red and blue?
Well, yeah. Maybe it's a remake of Red and Blue. No, hang on. It'd be a remake.
No, they don't need to do that. I mean, no.
Well, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were remakes of Red, Blue, Yellow, sort of.
They were, but they were at least a little bit different given that they had the Pokemon Go mechanics.
Yeah. And from what they've shown, they've not shown an awful lot. It looks like they are taking the open worlds from Pokemon Arceus and kind of combining it with a more traditional Pokemon game.
Right.
So that's good. And it does look better than Pokemon Arceus, but then again, any game that came out after about 2001 probably stands a chance of looking better than Arceus, if I'm being honest.
That's fair enough. But so how many Pokemon are we up to now? I think the last count was about 700 and something.
Oh, I haven't got a clue. Literally, I know the original 151 and then a handful from Gold and Silver, like Togepi and Pichu.
Yeah, and they've got to be running out of ideas. Well, I say they've got to be running out of ideas now. I mean, we've had literal trash.
Right, yeah, we've had literal trash. Keyring, a chandelier, an ice cream.
A snake.
Well, we've had quite a few snakes.
Yeah, a bull.
Yeah. See, well, I don't mind them because they're like based around animals. How many animals do you go out in the wild and you see? Oh, well, look at that! It's a sentient bag of trash.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true.
There's definitely going to be new Pokemon. There's new starters. One of them is a duck that literally looks like Donald Trump. So I've noticed everyone's just calling him Donald Duck.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
That is actually genius.
Some would say he's the best duck. The very best duck.
Not the best duck. The bestest duck.
Yeah, the bestest.
With all the bestest
ducks.
words.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll be honest. I know Anthony will be all over this, but I don't know if I will.
Well,
I kind of regret picking up Pokemon Arceus, to be honest.
You're not enjoying it?
No, I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it because it's a bad game. It's just I don't think it's my type of game anymore.
That's fair enough.
It's grindy as anything.
Really?
And I don't mean leveling up your Pokemon. That's easy. That's really quick. But do you know to complete the Pokédex, you start to just collect it and it puts the entry into the...
Yeah.
Well, now you need to do 10 different objectives out of like a list of maybe 20. And some of them are like, oh, kill 25 of them with a lightning attack or collect 10 heavy specimens.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds really grindy.
Yeah.
No, pass on that, thank you.
I do think that they're going to learn a lot from Arceus and hopefully get the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
maybe
that'll be nice to see.
Maybe Game Freak, please just spruce up those. Not necessarily the graphics. I can live with the poor graphics. It's just the fact that no one seems animated. The town doesn't seem lived in.
Yeah.
It's just very
stale.
Very static.
Yeah.
Right. Well, since we've been talking about Switch, let's go to the Switch killer, the Steam Deck, which unfortunately I did not get my.
I bet you are gutted.
No, I'm not gutted. Devastated, but not gutted. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for my email. Hopefully, when this comes out on Friday, I'll have got my email, but I ain't holding my breath, to be honest.
No.
But Gabe Newell has been hand-delivering Steam Decks to everyone who lives around the Valve office.
Has he? I thought he'd just be delivering it to the people that are going to be putting it on their YouTube channel.
No. These are just people who'd pre-ordered it. Yeah, just randomers. And it's a little video up of him handing them out, and it's quite humorous to watch because there's definitely two types of people. People who knew who Gabe was and people who had no idea who he was.
I couldn't imagine that. Oh, thanks, mate. Slam.
Yeah. Well, one of them, he opens the door and you can see him shocked. He's like, "Oh, you're Gabe. You're Gabe. Is this what are you doing here?" And like, a bit flustered and stuff, and like, bit probably starstruck. And then later on, someone answers the door and goes, "Hi, is Mr. Jones there?" And she goes, "No, that's my husband. He's on a skiing trip." He goes, "Oh, I've got his Steam Deck." And she goes, "Okay." Takes it off and goes to close the door, and then pops her head down and goes, "Why is there a TV crew with you?" Like complete, a mixture of suspicion and what's going on.
Is Jeremy Beadle about?
Yeah. But yeah. I must admit, actually, he does seem like a really down to earth guy.
Yeah.
So as they're driving, he actually signs them, and then after he signed one of them, he goes, "Oh, I hope they don't mind that I'm signing it for them." And then he's talking to the first guy who's a bit starstruck, and he goes, "Yeah, I signed it. I hope you don't mind." Like thinking, "Oh, I might have offended someone by signing the Steam Deck." I'm sure that guy's going, "No, this means a lot to me. This will fetch triple price on eBay now."
You know what? I can believe it.
I'm sure Gabe's listening to this podcast. If you want to pop over to the UK and hand deliver mine, I'd appreciate that. Or just put me to the front of the queue. I'd appreciate that as well.
You never know. You never know.
I never know. Well, on to the last bit of news now. So last week, I was talking about a potential Wonderboy collection. Now, after Sonic and Rocket Knight Adventures, Wonderboy Monster World was my favourite Sega Mega Drive game. And Wonderboy The Dragon's Trap was probably, again, after Sonic the Hedgehog, my favourite Master System game. So, seeing this collection, I was really excited and tried to guess what games might have been in it. And I was partially correct. So, in this collection, we're getting the original Wonderboy, which, I'll be honest, I have no love for. It's more the Monster World series of Wonderboy games I'm into. They've got Wonderboy Monsterland, which is the arcade game, which I don't mind. I just hate that damn noise that plays when you're low on health. And since it's a game where you constantly lose health, it'll haunt your dreams, that noise. Just like that constant noise the entire time as you're desperately trying to look for some extra health. Then the next game was Wonderboy Monster World. So I'm happy with that. I love that game. I think it's a fantastic game. It looks beautiful. Love it. And they're the three games I picked, but I couldn't think which other Wonderboy might be in there. Now, I was thinking of do you remember the 2-player kind of perpetual running one where every other level you were flying on the back of the dragons?
I remember that one.
I actually thought it was going to be that, but it's not. It's actually Wonderboy 4, which wasn't released over here originally on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
But only just got a brand new remake 9 months ago. And the remake includes the original game. But then it's also on this bundle.
So is it going to be the remake that they put in the bundle, or is it...
No, the original game.
Right.
But the original game was included in the remake that came out in May.
Who knows? Weird.
So I'm really surprised that was there. Because I speculated that wouldn't be there, because the remake had only come out 9 months ago. And I didn't think it'd be Wonderboy The Dragon's Trap, because we got a remake of that, 4 or 5 years ago? And then a reimagining of it with Monster Boy, which was kind of like a semi-remake sequel sort of title for it. So didn't think that would be coming either. But yeah.
Oh, there we go.
3 out of the 4 games I'm excited about.
So we know what you're picking up then.
Yeah, and it's only $24.99 as well for pre-order. It's coming out on June the 9th, I think it was.
So who's this one by?
So this is getting released by Inin.
Right.
Which I believe is the people who actually done the Asher Monster World, which was a remake of Monster World 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, it's not coming to the Mega Drive, though. Switch and PlayStation 4. So,
would you expect it to come to the Mega Drive?
I would like it to... I said Mega Drive. I meant Xbox.
This is why I was confused when you said coming to the Mega Drive. I was like...
in all fairness, most of these are already on the Mega Drive, so
yeah.
I suppose if you got a cartridge with a big enough RAM on it, it'd be fairly simple. No, sorry, I meant Xbox.
That makes more sense.
Mega Drive, Xbox Series 1X, they're practically the same console.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sorry, I actually was hoping it would come to the Xbox. Unfortunately, it's not, which unfortunately means I can't get achievements. Although saying that, 3 of these games and the 3 decent games are actually in the Wonderboy Collection that was released on the Xbox 360.
Right.
Although I'm unsure whether or not you can actually still purchase that.
Oh, that's a good question.
So, well, what do you think about this week's news?
What we just talked about, or what's been going on in general? Yeah.
No, we'll stick out of world politics.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to stick out of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice seeing Sony actually redevelop and build on the VR, because like Microsoft, they had Kinect, but then it just went nowhere whatsoever.
Yeah, I think the death sentence for Kinect was forcing you to get Kinect.
Yeah, that kind of killed it.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Yeah, although we had a positive bit of news, I initially thought you was going to say it was nice to see Sony charging PlayStation 5 users an extra $10.
No, why would I say that? That's just mean. It's nice to see Sony being corporate, greedy, evil.
Stirring up a bit of trouble. I don't know.
Yeah, come on to the podcast just to bash Sony.
Yeah. Remember everyone, don't feed the troll. The Xbox shill. Well, I'd like to say a massive thank you for coming in and helping with this podcast in Anthony's absence.
No worries.
And an even bigger thank you for dragging yourself away from Elden Ring for like 45 minutes.
It's hard.
I know.
Yeah.
I would like to point out to everyone that we were playing Rainbow Six Siege and we got him into a party chat and we were like, do you want to join us? We need the 3rd man for the team. And he's like, I've been waiting ages. I got the game and I had to go out shopping and this is the first chance I've got to play it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everybody understands exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah, but then you proceeded, all we heard was, damn it, no!
And that's how you know it's a good Dark Souls game.
It's either that or you're a bad player.
Bit of both. Let's go with that.
Column A, column B.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, if you would like to find out any more information about any topics in this episode, you can view the full show notes at retrogamingdads.co.uk.
We've been the Retro Gaming Dads, and we'll see you next time.
As usual, if you would like to listen... do you know what? This is like 51 times this has been said and still...
We've been the Retro Gaming Dads, and we'll see you next time. Also, happy birthday, Barry.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting it's my birthday. Getting old.
What do you mean, getting?
2 years away from 40 now.
Tell me about it now.
Yeah, not as old as you, at least.
I met literally 3 months.
You're still older than me. You'll still turn 40 the year before I turn 40. I'm not wrong.